What's up, everybody? Welcome to 3D Rivals, your first line of defense against stupid movies. My name is DJ, and as always, I'm joined by my two co-hosts, my sister, whose name
Danica.
is Danica. Yes, wonderful name there. And my brother, Derek.
What's up, everybody?
And this week, we're going to be talking about weather disaster movies and which ones we think are the best that we've seen in our lifetime. But before we get to that, as always, we get on with the news. So first bit of news that I had, Warner Brothers has caused some commotion in the movie business area because they're only sharing their weekend figures and not giving the daily numbers for Tenet to the other studios.
Yeah, I read that. Apparently, the studios are like, "Hey, dude, we need this so we can know like how to plan out the movie future." And Warner Brothers is being super secretive about it, which means to me, y'all not making a ton of money. I think this weekend they only made like $6.5 million or something like that.
Domestically, it was like $6.5 million.
Yeah, so it's not a lot.
Yeah.
Do y'all think it's because people are not going to the movies, or because the number of people that can be allowed to see the movie at a time?
It's a combination of the both.
Yeah, I think it's a combination of both, and also New York and LA is still closed.
Yeah, so you can't get those audiences, and those are huge audiences to go see movies. Yeah, and it's not like set in stone. Like studios don't have to do this. It's just been a practice that they've all been doing. You know, they share the numbers, and it helps everyone plan, like Danica was mentioning. So they're not doing it, and it's pissing everyone off. And it is definitely because they're not making a lot of money off of this movie right now. I think...
I'm sorry for interrupting, but I did read that they're going to allow it to play on drive-ins in LA.
Oh, they're going to do that. Yeah, I was wondering, I was like, do you think that their dumb drive-in rule that they were doing is part of the like obviously they still wouldn't make that much, but you think it's part of the reason why this movie is not doing as well?
Yes, I think if you allow drive-ins, you allow so many more people to go out and go see the movie because there's no risk. Or I'm not gonna say no risk, there's never no risk, but there's minimal risk if you go to a drive-in compared to sitting in a movie theater.
Right. I don't have to get out of my car.
Yeah.
Right.
And I'm going with my family that I've been stuck in the house with for the past 6 months.
Right. So,
right.
Yeah, I didn't understand what they were doing there, but I'm guessing they were trying to get like the actual box office payment, like from cinemas instead of the drive-in. It still doesn't make that much sense to me. But so far, as of this recording, Tenet has brought in $200 million worldwide. That's over 2 weekends. And $30 million domestically. Now, remember, it was a long weekend when it first was released, so you had some extra time on that. Here's the thing, like, that's, like, $200 million is not good for Tenet. It was a $400 million movie, I believe. So, to break even, they need to make $400 million.
Wait, $400 million?
Yeah, for them to break even.
They paid $400 million for this movie?
Yeah, I mean, I'm guessing if you're counting marketing costs and stuff, yeah.
Still. Well, then my thing is, why would you shoot yourself in the foot, though? You know what I mean? You limit your money-making avenue. Why would you do that?
I don't know.
It's like they're forcing people to say, throw caution to the wind, let's all go to the movie theater. It's like people are like, oh, I want to see Tenet so bad, I'm going to risk my life.
Yeah. And I don't think a lot of people are doing that. One, theater's only at like 25% capacity, right? And then, even then, it doesn't seem safe. Like, I'm not going to a theater. And I know a lot of people aren't. I mean, there's some people that will, but a lot of people aren't. They're like, I'm not going to chance it. And I don't know a movie that people are going to chance it on, even if they really want to see it. You know, it's...
Yeah, and then what's 25%? I mean, we're talking... We're talking, 20 to 50 people in each theater for each showing? That's not enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, between 20 and 50 people, yeah. Considering movies are 2 hours long, one theater will only have to show Tenet. Like, that's it, and no other movies. In order for you to make up your money, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's affecting the movie industry, and this was one of the first big releases to tell us how the things were going to go, and it's looking like not so well for movies. So other studios are reacting to this because they know Tenet's not doing good, even though Warner Brothers is keeping it close to the chest. Sony Pictures has come out and said they are not releasing any movies until COVID is no longer an issue.
Is No Time to Die Sony, or did Sony give up James Bond?
No, it's Sony. So that means James Bond, Spider-Man, whatever else comes out with Sony, Morbius and Venom, which I guess falls under Spider-Man. They're not coming out until theaters can be at full capacity.
So 2021 at least.
2021 at least. That being said, Warner Brothers themselves has pushed Wonder Woman back to December 25th of this year.
I saw that. Makes sense because it was supposed to come out next month.
Yeah.
Which
October 3rd or
obviously
something like that.
you'll be in the same boat as Tenet, basically.
Mm-hmm. And you don't want
You'll
to
make
lose
some
that
money, but not nearly enough.
Yeah. You don't want to lose
Yeah.
that money on Wonder Woman. Yeah,
Because Wonder Woman probably will make some money.
It would if it was a normal release, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely. It would make Tenet would have made money. Like they would have made a ton of money first weekend. Not looking good right now. That being said, when we're wondering when movies will come back, Dr. Anthony Fauci, trusted doctor in infectious disease, he says theaters may not be safe to return to until fall of 2021, like a year after the vaccine has been released.
Wait, what? Why a year after the vaccine?
Because
Will we all be superheroes or something?
well, I'm guessing they're saying like the vaccine won't be, it's not guaranteed, plus everyone has to get it, right? Like, you know, It's not going to come out and then that day everyone is vaccinated. So it still presents
It's going to take a year to vaccinate us all, though?
Hey, I don't know.
Are we going to be last on the list?
They're saying that everybody is going to have to get vaccinated
if they choose to.
Right.
I guess.
Right, okay. And it's going to take a year to do
right
that?
now in the trials, they're having setbacks.
I don't know if well, that's a certain vaccine. I'm not going to get into that one. I don't know if he's saying that like that's how long it would take for it to work, but I mean, he's the expert. So he's just saying before being in a close space, like a theater next to each other, breathing on each other, before that is safe, probably be fall 2021.
Well, the way you describe that, I never want to go back.
I know, man. You never thought about breathing on each other
I
in the
was
theater.
just thinking about sporting events on how close we sit on top of each other, even at games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Don't sneeze.
Yeah.
Not looking so great. And I think he's talking about completely without mask and no distancing and stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
The way
Right.
it used to be.
Yeah. So here's my question. Do these studios wait until 2021
No.
to release these movies? Because you're sitting a long time.
I say no, because they already got a line of movies that's slated for 2021, unless you release a movie every other week. But
That's
then you
a
don't
bad
want to
idea.
compete with each other.
Yeah, I'm like, you're cutting into your own revenue because
Yeah.
people aren't going to go see a movie every week.
Right.
I think Disney Plus will be releasing their movies on their streaming service.
Not for $30.
There's very few movies that we'll see for 30. I mean, I don't know how did Mulan do. I mean,
Disney,
critically, I don't
besides
mean
the fact that people don't like it, I don't think Disney is releasing their monies.
They didn't do it on the last movie they released.
Yeah, but no one cared about that movie.
Yeah.
And Disney has been very quiet about it, which means I'm taking it as in it is not doing well.
Yeah, probably not. Probably not.
It's just too much money. It just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. So, but that also means for us no new movies that we get to see. Into I don't know, man. They might as well just go straight to DVD on some of these, just to make your money off of DVD and
Yeah.
other sales.
Just
I don't know how that
video
much that affects
on
it.
demand. I don't know why that's not like
They
video
have
on
people
demand.
for $10.99, $15.99.
I keep telling
That's what
y'all,
they did
man.
with Trolls too,
I keep telling
and it
y'all,
was
man.
successful.
Virtual movie theaters. I'm telling y'all, we need to get
Yeah.
on this. Anybody know how to program?
I can make a calculator for you. I don't know if that's helpful.
Yeah, I've never done anything
But that's
in VR, so yeah, man, they gotta do something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotta figure something out there. That's about all I had, but Danica, you have one more story you wanted to mention.
I did. Disney Plus, I know they're testing it right now in Canada with a watch party feature where you and your friends, basically what we're doing right now and what we've been doing. But they're going to add a feature into Disney Plus. It's coming soon to here, but it's in Canada right now. Whereas a watch party where you guys can watch a movie and video chat with each other while you're watching a movie, but everyone has to have Disney Plus to do it.
Okay, so everyone has to have Disney Plus.
Okay.
Huh. You think,
Which we all do.
You think they're gearing to like join this up with premium? So they come out with their new movie, you pay premium, and you do a watch party with your friends.
That will work. That makes it $30 worth it.
Yeah, but
Then we
if
can
each
each just
person
pay
have to
$10.
pay 30, like, yeah, if
No,
we can share the
each person
cost.
doesn't have to pay 30.
Yeah, one person
Yeah.
plays 30, but everybody has to have Disney Plus
Okay.
to see it.
Yeah. That will work. Unless they put a block on it, and then anything premium you won't be able to watch,
I
which is
wouldn't
what
put
they
them
would do.
past them. It's Disney. I feel like they would.
Yeah. So I thought it was interesting. There's a couple of other sites that has that too. I think Amazon is getting something like that also. But I thought that was neat. I mean, technically we're already doing that, but now we can do it through the Disney Plus. But I do say I think it's a good feature. We all have Disney Plus, so when it hits America, I think we should check it out.
Yeah, we definitely should.
Yeah. Maybe we even do like watch parties with like our viewers, the 10 people that listens to the podcast. But that could definitely be cool.
Yeah.
I think it would actually really work for the new movies if they do that. Like if they do it on the movies, they're probably going to limit how many people you can have. So like not one person gets a $30 movie and then you have 200 people watch it. You know?
No. It's a small number. It's not a big number. I forgot what that number is, but it's like less than 10.
Less than 10? Okay, I was thinking
Yes.
10 as a number, but
I thought 10 would be a nice size.
I don't think it's that much. I forgot. I should have wrote this down, but I didn't. But it's not that many people.
well, okay. I think it's a good idea though. So we'll see what happens. Do we know when this is rolling out in the US?
No, they said soon.
Okay, so never. I don't know. Like when is soon?
I don't know. I wonder why they chose Canada first. Why are we not special?
That is an interesting. Like, when is Canada ever an opening market to anything?
Right? Like, I don't get it.
It's weird, but okay. I guess if they want to do that. Okay, so that was about all the news we had. Anybody else have a story that they wanted to go over?
No, that was it.
Cool beans. Well, before we go into our main topic, I wanted to mention about Buzzsprout. If you were someone that was thinking about starting a podcast, Buzzsprout is the way to go. It is the easiest and best way to launch, promote, and track your podcast. You can be shown online and listed in all the major podcast directories like Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, and more within minutes of finishing your recording. So if you're looking to start a podcast, check out our affiliate link below where you can sign up to Buzzsprout yourself. That being said, let's talk disasters. Like how much of a disaster my promotion was just then. But we wanted to talk disaster movies. So obviously, disaster movies is a staple in cinema, right? You know, there's always some kind of disaster movie coming out about the world ending in some crazy way. 2012 came out, I hope, in 2012. Did it come out in 2012?
Yes.
Okay, because the world was supposed to end in 2012. I also chose to get married in 2012. It's weird, right?
Oh, perfect.
Oh,
You got
actually,
married in
in
the
May
first
when it
same
was
year.
supposed to end.
You weren't planning on to feed internet.
Yeah, it was like, it was supposed to end.
Perfect excuse.
Yeah, so we wanted to talk about disaster movies over the years, and each person chose their top 5. I realized I hadn't seen that many disaster movies, so my list is weird. But we will.
Well, we do need to clarify that we're talking about weather disasters.
Yeah,
True.
mainly weather disasters. You know, so
Yes.
tornadoes,
No aliens,
and
no diseases.
yeah, no Thanos snapping away half the universe.
That wouldn't count anyway, so don't y'all try to put that in there.
It's a disaster.
Derek.
It's a disaster.
That's
It's a
disastrous.
superhero movie first.
Half
No.
of the universe disappeared.
No, we're not counting that. We would never count that.
I say that's a disaster movie.
No.
They were all trying to stop him from wiping away half the planet. In disaster movies, don't they normally try to do that?
No. Not in every disaster movie.
Okay, fine. What disaster movie where they're not trying to stop the disaster?
Right.
Wait, what?
Titanic?
Okay.
Deep Impact? They all died.
Yeah, but they were trying to stop it, weren't they?
Yeah, but in Armageddon, they blew up the asteroid. Deep Impact was more like, we're going to die anyway, so there you go.
Yeah. What about Asteroid?
Asteroid?
What did they do for an asteroid? Did they, throw something at it or something? Something stupid, wasn't it?
Can we blow up a meteor? We'll get into it when we talk about these movies. One thing I wanted to mention was how all these movies have some scientists telling everyone hey, this is so bad and we really need to do something about this, or this is going to be horrible. And then it's always people not believing the scientists.
Mm-hmm.
That used
Kind of
to
like
be...
life.
Yeah.
Well, see, that used to be my biggest pet peeve about disaster movies. I'm like, no one would ever do that. You know,
Right.
who would ignore this guy? That's just dumb. Why would the people in charge just well, whatever? And then, 2020 happened.
Right.
And I was like, oh, they didn't make that up.
Yeah, I was always like, why would you ignore this expert where it's his job to look at this information, right? And he's sending you a warning and then everyone ignores him. And then, like you said, this year happened and we're like, oh.
Because apparently we can't contain wildfires either. So,
Well, yeah, that's a whole nother story. So, yeah. Yeah, so why don't you guys go ahead and tell us about, well, I guess we'll go in order. We'll start with number 5, your 5th most beloved disaster weather movie. We'll start with Derek.
I have Deep Impact as my number 5.
Impact. See, I have a love-hate relationship with Deep Impact. Because it came out the same year Armageddon came out. And I feel like Armageddon is more entertaining. Deep Impact focused more on the emotions of the people going through this disaster. And then in the end, I was so disappointed because it was just they're all running, they evacuated, and then half the people died anyways.
Yeah.
I was just like,
Well,
why did I
people are
just
probably
watch
not
this
going to
movie?
like me because I don't like Armageddon.
What?
Oh, hot take right there.
Really?
Yeah,
Hot take.
I did not like that movie.
I haven't seen
find that people
either
that-
of those movies.
Dude,
Okay, I was
you
thinking
need
someone new to lead this How you on a movie podcast and you ain't seen no movies?
It was supposed to be about new movies that came out that we went to go see.
But we're talking about movies that everyone have seen. This isn't everyone's seen these movies.
Okay, it's not an old movie podcast. It's just 2020 happened and there are no new movies. So so now I'm stuck not seeing any of the movies.
I mean, it should be like everyone else and catch up on their old movies. And both of these movies has been on Netflix in like the last 3 months.
Yeah, maybe we should we should watch some of these movies for the podcast. There's going to be 2 years before we see a new movie anyway. So yeah.
Okay, we'll put it on the list.
Yeah. Well, there's thousands of movies that have came out since we've been born alone, so we have a lot to choose from.
We do. And the people are going to notice our disaster movies tend to focus on the late 90s, early 2000s type deal because those are the movies we see.
Yeah.
So anything before like 95, I haven't seen it.
Yeah. Because I'm pretty sure somebody will say, The Towering Inferno. You know, like.
And Poseidon, is it called the Poseidon Adventure? The first Poseidon?
Yeah,
Poseidon
I think so.
Adventure? I've heard of
I think it
Poseidon.
was called Poseidon. Yeah, Poseidon was a
The
remake.
Poseidon we know was a remake.
Okay.
And there's another good one that they like from like 1960 whatever that I've never seen.
Yeah.
Oh, but what I was saying about Deep Impact and Armageddon. People who like Armageddon tend to dislike Deep Impact and then vice versa.
Interesting.
I dislike Deep Impact, but I like Armageddon.
Yeah.
But Armageddon
Yeah.
is my number 5. Yeah.
All right, so now both of these movies are about a meteor coming and hitting the Earth, right?
Yes.
Yes.
They came out in the same year within weeks of each other.
Yeah. So here's what I think happened. I think somebody wrote a screenplay, right? And they pitched it to somebody, then like they lost it and then they had to like get another copy and somebody picked up the screenplay. And this is how these movies came out at the same time. You know, this happens a lot in Hollywood though. Like there's 2 movies that's the exact same thing and they come out like in the same year.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Dante's Peak and Volcano was like that. No strings attached and Friends with Benefits
Yeah.
are basically the same movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. So all right. So
And people tend to love one and hate the other.
Sure. It's the one that you saw in theaters, most likely. So people saw, or number 5 for Derek is Deep Impact.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Yes.
What do you say, Danica? What's your number 5?
Day After Tomorrow.
Okay. All right, cool. I have Day After Tomorrow on my list. It's a lot higher because I haven't seen a lot of these, a lot of disaster movies.
I have Day After Tomorrow higher too, so I guess Deep
Really?
Impact would be our number 5.
Well, we're not going to do a 3D Rivals ranking because it's just disaster movies. So Day After Tomorrow is an interesting movie. I thought that it was pretty good. It's another one of those let's not listen to the scientists deal.
Right. Until it's too late.
They're all like that, basically. That's like 90% of all disaster movies.
Man.
My thing is with The Day After Tomorrow, like things were happening as he was telling them. Like this is like, well, if it's global warming, shouldn't it get hot? And it's just like, well, yeah, because the polar caps started melting, and it changed the water temperature and the salt content in the water, which that will in turn affect the weather when the water evaporates because it's too much water, and then we're weather.
I just want to say I'm glad this is fiction because I don't want to be hit by an ice hurricane. That's just weird.
Yeah.
I was like,
I mean, that's what I like about this movie. It's so, it's like the worst of everything all happened within like 2 days of each other, which is just so ridiculous.
Tornado in California.
Yeah, tornadoes in California, ice storm, floods in New York, and it's just, seriously? But it's highly entertaining, even if it is over the top.
definitely highly entertaining. I would agree with that. It's how many movies have we had about global warming since like the 20s? I know that's an exaggeration, but still. Like,
Well, you definitely had this. You had like, 2012 was just the world ending. That wasn't global warming.
that wasn't global.
Yeah,
warming.
that was just the world is ending. Period. Yeah.
Yeah. That was like the Mayans were right.
Mm-hmm.
The world has a calendar and it ends on 2012.
Yes.
Okay. Alrighty. All right. So the last one on my list is, and mind you, people listening, I have not seen a lot of disaster movies, so it's a bad movie. But this is the TV movie Locust, which came out when I was a teenager in the early 2000s.
Okay, I don't remember what was this movie about besides Locust.
It was just Locust. Like they were.
Wasn't did they do like some experiments on the locusts?
I think so, and they're like the biggest swarm of locusts ever. And you know, they're just grasshoppers, and generally they only eat crops. But like it was so dangerous, like a person got caught in the swarm of locusts, and they were tearing pieces of their skin off and stuff. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it was like the world's biggest swarm of locusts, and they beat it by. It is so dumb. They destroyed the swarm of locusts by like powering up some power lines to make like an electric field that they flew through, and it like basically they made a big bug zapper.
They made a giant bug zapper. Okay.
Wow.
Are we allowing this entry into our natural disaster movie list?
Is a locust like, because I think it counts because a grasshopper's switching over to being a swarm of locusts is a natural disaster type phenomenon, and this actually was happening last year in Africa because like global warming had created the right elements for this to happen. Like they generally don't become swarms of locusts as often as they were, and because of global warming it was happening. And it basically was like a natural disaster going throughout, I think it was southeastern Africa. So, yeah, I know it's bugs, but in a way it acts like a natural disaster.
Okay, because I was like, if we count that, then we should have added arachnophobia and them to the list.
Okay, no,
and maybe
that's different.
Some Mimic too.
That's different.
Those are listed, though, like, technically as horror movies.
Yeah, those are horror movies.
Okay, all right. All right.
I arachnophobia is not spiders coming through and destroying the planet. Like,
make you scared to take a shower, though.
All right, checking your drains before you get in.
All right, y'all gonna be mad, but I haven't seen arachnophobia, so.
Oh my god!
I need you to get your. I need you to get your brother. How you not see arachnophobia?
Are you kidding me right
now? No.
Have you seen them?
Yeah, I've seen them. That's the giant ants, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen them.
Have you seen Mimic? Mimic
is that the blob, the little purple jello thing?
No, Mimic is these giant man-sized roaches.
Yeah.
I think I've seen it, but I remember very little about it. I must have been young. Because it sounded like I've seen Mimic, but
yeah, and the purple thing that's purple pinkish thing that's blob.
That's the blob. Yeah.
Okay.
Which I find is very dumb. It moves slow. Why are you caught?
Like you can just move out the way. Like they're screaming, and I'm like, just turn the corner. Get back in the house. Like
you can outrun it.
I did think that when I was a kid. Like I wasn't even scared. And I was scared of everything as a kid. I was like, this is dumb. It's Jello.
Basically, they look like a trash bag.
Right, because what it came out in like the 70s and 80s.
No, it's older than that, ain't it?
It's older than that.
The blob is like
I know the graphics is pretty bad.
I think it was like the 50s and the 60s.
I'll look that up right quick.
Yeah.
The Blob.
Yeah, I think it's old.
It's probably gonna give me Marvel.
Yeah, it's gonna give you Marvel. The Blob is a mutant with the dumbest mutant power. While you're looking that up, Derek, why don't you tell us the fourth movie on your list?
Dante's Peak.
Ah,
Interesting.
okay.
Yeah. Dante's Peak was about a volcano in, what's the name of the city? Dante's something or another. What's the name of that city they were in?
I don't know.
I don't remember. Was they in Washington, the state?
Yeah, I think they were in Washington State. 1958.
1958.
Yeah.
When did Volcano come out?
Nigga,
Oh no, we were talking about the Blob. Was
The Blob came out in 1958.
Oh, I was like, man,
And
that
then they did a
seems
remake.
old.
They did a remake in 1988.
Okay.
Oh my god. No, Dante Peak and Volcano came out in the same year. Either, I believe it was 97, right? Or
Okay.
98, something like that.
97.
Dante's
Yeah.
Peak is the one that I didn't see. I saw Volcano.
Yeah. It's with Pierce Brosnan.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah, and he's
I
like
was
a-
on the Tommy Lee Jones train. I'm sorry, my bad.
And he was like a
Yeah,
volcano
Tommy Lee
expert. He comes in, and then people die, and they're in that little river singing "Row, row, row your boat," and the grandma hops out the boat
Yeah.
Why are they singing "Row, row, row your boat"? I'm sorry, what?
to keep the kids calm. So they were trying to, because they were like, all right, so the water's like acid now. So they like got to roll across the thing to get to the other side, and to keep the kids calm, they started singing "Row, row," because the boat is like deteriorating while they're rowing through the river. So then they
was
like
there
sing
no
to
other
try to.
way to get there?
No, because the way the
No.
town is set up, and they were like at her house, and the road was closed, and had to hop on a boat to get to the other side.
Because the grandmother didn't want to leave.
Always, you know what? You could have
Yeah.
left her because she died anyways.
She died anyway because she jumped in the water.
Because she jumped in the water, and she like, oh.
When they like close,
They were so
when they
close.
like close to the to the shore anyway, and she just freaked out and jumped out the water.
Oh God, no!
That's the part that pissed me off. I was like, you were so close. Why did you even jump out the boat?
Oh my gosh, it was so ridiculous.
Wow. Okay.
But Dante's Peak, I like it. It's a good movie. Well, I mean,
Yeah.
for what it is.
Yeah. Yeah, I like Dante's.
Yeah.
All right. So, all
Interestingly
right.
enough,
Is that your number 4 too?
my number 4 is Dante's Peak / Volcano, because I couldn't decide which one I like better. So I put them both at number 4.
Well,
Because they're the same movie.
It's
They
the-
each have their flaws. They're both entertaining.
One, why is a volcano under a city? I don't think this will happen ever, but fine.
Well,
I
I
don't know. It's
thought with Volcano, it was because the earthquake happened.
yeah,
and
the
it called-
earthquake opened it up.
Yeah.
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 So
Why
that's
did they
why.
have such a hard time evacuating this city?
Because it's LA.
Oh, okay, never mind.
There's a lot of people that live in LA. And
Yeah.
You see the traffic during normal times.
Only thing I
What's the traffic
remember,
gonna be like when there's a volcano?
Yeah.
only thing I remember from Volcano is that guy on the train trying to save
I
the
was
other
just
guy.
Oh, that's like the best scene in the
His shoes was
movie.
melting.
I know, like, yeah, his shoes was melting, and he tried to make that jump, and he just landed in the lava. It's sad because he was trying to save somebody's life.
You would die instantly.
He would die.
Yeah, he would
But
catch on fire. Yeah, like entirely.
It's too
he'd be
about
on fire.
volcano movies. It's like lava is so hot just being near it. It's like in every movie you can like stand next to a volcano and be okay. Like, nah, bro. Like you cannot
Right.
do that.
Yeah.
No.
They're just like
No, think-
they're
think
yelling
about
at each other like,
how many
okay.
people die in like house fires, and it's not because they got burned up. It's like by the time it's over, they find the body burnt. But
Yeah.
people die from all the smoke that they breathe in,
Yeah.
and it's
Well,
just
not
like
only that, it's
volcano smoke is worse.
It is.
You're not gonna be able to stand next to a volcano and just be breathing easily.
Well, not even just that. The heat alone will get you. It's not like a regular fire. You cannot
Right.
stand next to lava and be cool. And then didn't they stop it with like concrete barriers and some water hoses?
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yep.
the water would. It wouldn't directly.
It would slow it
stop It
down.
would slow it down.
Yeah.
It would slow it down.
But how hot is lava? What's the water temperature? I don't think it will work that fast.
Were they using it from the bay?
It would not work that fast.
The
They
water-
can't even
Was it
contain.
No, they
fires and
redirected
all
it into the bay, didn't they?
Yeah, they used the cement barrier
to redirect it.
to
Would
redirect
lava
it. Yeah.
not melt cement?
That is my question. I feel like it would.
Eventually,
Wouldn't
yeah. I think it
don't
would
know that much.
hurt a little bit, but I think it would still melt through though.
How much heat can concrete withstand? I should probably know this.
You should know this, Miss.
You should know
Silver.
this.
I should know
Thermodynamics.
this.
Excuse me.
Isn't this your job?
I can tell you how much concrete weigh.
Well, that's not the question, is it? But I remember really liking Volcano, though.
Yeah, Volcano was my next movie selection.
Okay, so that was your
Okay.
number 3. So we can move
Yeah.
on from that since we already know what your number 3
Okay.
is, Volcano.
All right, well then I guess we're on my number 3 then.
Mm-hmm. Oh, wait, no, I didn't give my number 4. My bad. Not that
Oh,
it matters. I guess I'm gonna choose Titanic for number 4. I know people were like, "Oh, it should be higher." I hate this movie. I want you to know, I hate Titanic. It's a stupid movie.
Titanic is a dumb movie. It's a dumb situation all the way around.
Yeah.
I mean, is it a disaster movie when it could have been prevented? It's not like, global warming or an asteroid or whatever. It's we
Yeah.
weren't doing our job and we hit a rock.
Okay, all right. I'll change it then. I think you're right. So,
Yeah.
also, most of the movies on my list have been mentioned already. So as we get higher, there's just nothing else for me to talk about. But I guess I'm gonna go with Sharknado, but I'm gonna move that to 5 and put Locust at 4.
You should.
Sharknado.
Yeah, and it was 6 of those movies.
Sharknado,
That's-
NATO Infinity, all of them, they all suck. They're dumb. Stop making these movies. Stop it.
Wait, what is it called?
Sharknado?
Sharknado.
That was dumb. Didn't they destroy them with chainsaws or something?
Yeah, he jumped. Okay, I'm not. This is. This is what pisses me off so much. I know it's a B movie, and you could tell it's one because the weather would change in the same scene at different camera angles. Like it'll be raining as they're looking at one person, and you turn to the other person to talk, and the sun is shining. That's how bad this was. But yeah, a chainsaw. So the shark ate this guy's girlfriend or whatever. I don't know if it's his girlfriend, but whatever, romantic interest of the movie. And one, sharks bite. They don't swallow things whole, but fine. So the shark ate the girlfriend, and he jumped into the shark with a chainsaw. Into the shark's mouth with a chainsaw. Breaking through, and he saved his girlfriend. One, okay, if the shark does swallow your girlfriend whole, how did you not cut her in half jumping into the shark's mouth with a chainsaw? How did that not happen? Plus, a shark's not eating you whole, so she's dead.
Yeah.
And that's not the only
That's
problem with the
dumb.
movie. But since you mentioned chainsaws, I had to mention that.
Explain that. Okay, and that was at the end of the movie?
Yeah, that was the end. That was the climax of the movie. That was it. That was the resolution. I think the Sharknado just ended. Which who thought of this? Hey, let's put sharks in tornadoes. You know the only
And why
thing,
would sharks be in tornadoes?
right? That's a water spout,
I thought it was...
and those
Well-
aren't that strong.
Well, when it gledes from water to land, it becomes a tornado. Even though that's not how that works, but
No, it's not how that works. And apparently the
I'm
sharks
just saying, I
just
gotta give
stayed
it.
in these tornadoes. Did it? I gotta. No, I'm not watching it again. Never mind.
When the shark just die,
Yeah.
Yes.
right?
You know what the danger of a sharknado is? Getting smacked in the face with a shark. That's the danger. Not sharks eating people. It's just being smacked in the face with a shark being thrown by a tornado.
See, that's something that should be in movies.
Yeah.
That
You
should
know
be like
what?
a scene of Twister.
You know what's cool about tornadoes though, which won't be cool, but like if one hit in California right now, a fire tornado, which is a real thing, those are cool. Not technically
That would-
cool, because
No, I get what you're saying. Like, I find.
Wind spouts
yeah,
with
Yeah.
fire.
yeah. So it actually
Right,
does.
I get what
happen
you're
in
saying.
California.
Yeah, I think natural disasters are like super interesting. I mean, they're not interesting when they're happening to people, but I find them interesting. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
Yeah, I
A lot
find
of
them
people
really
do.
interesting.
I was looking up for lava while we were talking about that. It can get up to 2,200 degrees Fahrenheit.
I saw that. I didn't believe it. The one I believe said 500 degrees Celsius, which is 932 degrees Fahrenheit. Sounds like a better number to me. At that point, the concrete starts to weaken.
Okay. And they
So
said
you're
if
like-
lava briefly touch you, it won't kill you. You will have a severe burn.
okay.
You think? Well, you still have fingers?
So no. Here's the thing. I think it depends on what they're talking about, because there are people that do. You shouldn't do this. I'm gonna emphasize
Okay.
this. You shouldn't do this. But you know, people that work with molten metal and stuff, like if it's pouring, if people have videos of this, you can actually like smack your hand through it and nothing will happen to you because of I forget what the effect is called, but like since you have so much liquid on your hand, it evaporates and turns to steam, keeping the metal from hitting your hand actually.
Yeah.
So it doesn't actually do anything to them. So I think they might be saying like a real specific way that you can touch lava without it doing anything. Here's the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, one, you do that wrong and your hand's gone.
Yeah.
And no, let's just, you're gone. If you touch it, you're gone.
Yeah. And they said the flow of lava is really fast coming off the mountain.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that's how you get trapped in it.
And they said what kills people is like people underestimate that on how fast the lava flow is.
Because it's always slow in movies. All right. Lava can get up to 2,100 degrees Fahrenheit. You cannot stand next to that.
Nope. I can barely stand next to my stove with it open.
Right. And that's 500.
I was like, oh, that's hot. No.
Yeah. So that scene of Volcano, they'll just all be dead, is what we're getting at, right?
Okay, so he would have died
Yeah.
on the train instead of when he jumped off of it.
I think
Yeah.
so. Because it's like his shoes is melting. He's trying to jump and just like, no.
Yeah, let's be honest. If if it's hot enough for your shoes to start melting,
His feet is already burning.
you're dead. Like,
He's dead.
yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because if it's hot enough to melt your shoes, it's burning your skin.
At what point does your blood boil?
Ew.
It has to be really hot.
I'm
Or
gonna
you
look
can
that
go
up.
into a vacuum. Your blood would also
Hey,
boil. Then.
one of the questions someone asked was, "Can we drink lava?"
What?
Oh my gosh.
Who asked that? It's rock.
You're right.
It's literally rocks. Why would you... Okay, you know...
It was like actually you will suffocate to death because it will harden when it hits your mouth.
And your mouth would be burned.
Yeah.
Okay. It is blood boils at the same temperature of water, which is 212 degrees Fahrenheit.
All right. Well... Oh, wow, that's...
That's interesting.
All right, what was your number 3, Danica?
Yeah.
Armageddon.
Armageddon. We already talked about these movies, right?
We already, yeah. It's hard
Yeah.
to talk about since someone didn't see it.
Well, you can talk about it. It's not like you need to spoil it. Like, I don't care. It's
Nah,
an
it's
asteroid
just-
coming, and it kills
It's
everybody.
entertaining. It's unrealistic. It doesn't because they saved the day by sending random people from an oil rig out in space to put a nuclear bomb inside of it and blow it up. Yep.
Yeah.
First of all,
Armageddon.
so you would have to trace the trajectory of the asteroid and then plan your launch from Earth to get to it as it's moving in order to
They
get
did
a
all of
nuke
that.
in it.
Yeah, they did all of that.
Okay.
They had Bruce Willis, Ben
But
Affleck.
we
some
can't
other
get
people.
to the moon. That's moving slower than the asteroid hurling to Earth.
But they did the math. They went through some training in quotation marks, and they were ready to go.
Let me clarify my statement before anyone makes a comment about this. We can't get to the moon again. Okay? I know that we've been there. So,
I don't know. I kind of feel like we did it in 1960, whatever. Why can't we do it now?
because it's difficult. we
But you
need-
did it in 1960 with like a calculator that had two functions.
Hey, look, I don't know, man. It's expensive.
Again,
We're spending too much money on the Space Force.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Space
fight aliens.
Force.
uh,
I'm gonna join it. I want to fight aliens. All right, so my number 3 is 10.0.
wow,
Like,
is that
how
not
about
a
that?
good movie?
It's not a good movie at all. I don't
No.
like any of these
I
movies
started-
on my list.
I started to watch that. Is that the same one that's on like Netflix or Amazon? It's on something right now.
Is it? I thought it was a made-for-TV
And I
movie.
started to watch it. Oh, you know what? It's different. The movie you're talking about is just called 10.0. The one on Hulu is called 10.0 Earthquake. I think those are two different things.
God, really? It's probably just as bad.
I think
though.
so.
It actually,
Probably.
the one on Hulu sounds like it's worse. Just because they were like, let's put an earthquake at the end of it. Like, nobody knew what we meant. The only thing I remember about this movie is...
It actually is the same movie.
Oh, yeah.
It came out in 2014.
Was
but
it
when it
no,
came-
that's not the same movie.
No, that's not the same one. No, this
That's
is
not the
older
same
than
movie.
that, yeah. I was like 18.
Yeah. This is definitely older than 2014. I think it's just called 10.0 because it split California in half, right?
Yeah, and it fell off into
Yeah.
the ocean.
Yeah.
Yeah,
was-
it's supposed to be
it was
the
one of those
big
TV
one that
movies.
everyone's talking about.
On the San Andreas fault line, right?
Yeah, yeah. So I just remember them looking at the Richter scale, right, and they keep naming the numbers like it's a 8.0, 9.5, it's a 10.0. And then didn't they stop this by like throwing a bomb at like, look, you can't stop an earthquake. I don't care what y'all think. All these movies about stopping an earthquake, no. There's nothing you can
Well,
do.
In all the movies, it's like America's solution to stop something is we just going to blow it up.
Wouldn't that make it worse?
Like, why is
Yeah.
that always our option? That was I watched The Core the other day for the first of all, horrible movie,
Yeah.
just bad.
Yeah.
And the solution was the Earth is spinning in the wrong direction, so let's just blow it up to get it to like, I guess it's like shocking your heart.
Wait, the Earth is spinning in the wrong
And-
direction?
It was it was going to stop spinning. I think that's what happened.
Oh, okay. Because I was like, we'd all be dead.
Yeah, it would implode if that happened. It would implode if that happened. So I think it was like it started to slow down spinning. So they were going to travel to the center of the Earth and blow it up. Duh.
Because we can get there.
Even if the Earth slows down a little bit, it will cause a lot of issues.
Oh,
Wait.
it did. People started dropping like flies because it was affecting people's pacemakers or something
Yeah, it would.
Yeah, the magnetic
because
field
of the
would go.
magnetic field. Yeah. So everyone
Yeah.
with pacemakers all died.
Forget that. We're all dying from the radiation from the sun. We'll just die. Just, everyone's dead.
Yeah, because it's not spinning fast enough.
Yeah, and then like everyone on the ship died. It was just,
Yeah.
yeah,
No, that's so dumb. Also, why do
it
they
was
keep
dumb.
talking about digging to the center of the earth? We do know that it's not rock all the way down to the center of the earth, right?
Yeah.
I mean, like, it's
Oh
not
yeah, they
solid
had like
rock.
yeah, they had like different when they were going down there in the movie. They had like different, I want to say, zones. There was like, what is that? It's diamond, and
What I'm
And there was
saying
like-
is the crust is it's really thin. To get to the center of the
Yeah.
earth, you got to go through the mantle, which is liquid.
yeah, they had all of that in the movie.
How did you trouble? Okay, I'm not even. All right. Makes no sense.
I didn't say the movie was good. It was horrible.
The earth is flat anyway. You can't get to the center. So
There you go.
it's just going to fall out the bottom.
Or catch a ride on a floating turtle. I don't know.
Oh, God. Okay.
Or two elephants. I don't know. It gets confusing.
I think it's dark energy is lifting it.
Oh, okay.
I think somebody said something like that.
Yeah.
All right. Number 2 on our list.
That's where I have The Day After Tomorrow.
Okay. All right. Ice
Okay.
hurricanes. It's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have
Um,
Twister.
That was, what's unrealistic about
Yeah.
The Day After Tomorrow? Like when it was freezing over and they were like throwing all the books in the fire. First of all, the person complaining about them burning literature, shut up. Like,
Well, why burn books when you have furniture?
yeah, that's true. The furniture would have been better to burn. But if we only
Yeah.
had the books to burn, like, I'm not worrying about like history. I'm trying to stay alive.
Well,
That's
wait a
more
minute.
important.
Okay, you were in the New York Library, right?
Mhm.
Why not
Yeah.
burn James Patterson? Like, don't burn the original Shakespeare,
Yeah, true. True.
right? Yeah. So yeah,
Yeah.
burn law books or something.
Plus, even if the computers freeze over, I think you could still recover like data. And we know James Patterson is like digitally saved somewhere, right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah,
You
so
don't
you
burn
can recover.
original first editions.
So,
And then there was tables and chairs in the room.
yeah. Also, I'm like, that fire wouldn't have stopped that. You all are dead. Like, I like how they closed the door like it was going to stop the ice from coming in.
Well, that's what it was. It's like, hurry up and close the door, and then the ice on the door. But we're so cool, though. Like, seriously?
Yeah.
Nah, man.
Yeah. Well, the father did the same thing when he went into that Burger King and started up the
Man.
stove.
Look, let me tell you, my windows being closed did not stop the room from being cold.
If it's that cold, that fire ain't doing nothing.
No.
Ain't doing nothing. You're gonna be like in the fire.
Yeah, because you're talking about it's cold enough to instantly freeze things, like at an instant, right?
Right.
Nah,
Yeah.
man. That fire ain't doing nothing.
That and they needed to be close. Y'all gotta get that body heat together. They should have been like all laying on top of each other or something.
Yeah. But
It's unrealistic, but
very unrealistic. But I like that movie. Twister is your second? That's number 2. You said? For you?
yeah, Twister is a great movie. It's just so entertaining, and they're about to
Is
make
that
a
the one with the cow?
prequel. Yes, this is the one with the cow, and the guy's in Oklahoma, I think, trying to get his ex-wife to sign divorce papers. So he goes all the way to Oklahoma.
That's one thing I didn't mention. Why do all these movies have a relationship issue? You know, like there's always a relationship issue in it.
There's always like someone who wife hates them, or some old lonely guy who finds love in the middle.
Right. And they're divorced or about to get divorced or something like
Mm-hmm. Yep, in every movie.
every single one. All right, my number 2.
That was in.
Oh, go ahead.
Okay. No, I'm gonna say that was. I was wondering, like, that was in like Dante's Peak. Like her ex was like a deadbeat. This dude's wife had died by a volcano, incidentally enough.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, I know, right? She got hit with a rock.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Wait,
Horrible.
it got thrown from the volcano?
It got thrown from the volcano, went through the car, and like hit her in the head.
Oh, so it was a tiny rock.
I don't think it was small, but big enough. I would say like, I don't know, fist size.
Well, you said it went through the window. Like when you said it, I thought like she got smushed by like a boulder or something.
Oh no, no.
All right. All right, my number 2 was Day After Tomorrow, so
Okay.
I guess I'm on the same pace with Derek, who we've lost, so we'll have to get Derek's number 1 a little later. Because Discord doesn't
I'm
work that well.
surprised he doesn't have Twister on his list. That is disappointing.
True, you should have Twister on your list. What's your number 1, Danica?
Yeah. The Perfect Storm.
Ah.
Which you haven't seen, I guess.
No, which Perfect Storm was with who?
That is George Clooney, Mark Wahlberg, and a whole bunch of other people.
I think
it's about this fisherman crew who gets caught in a hurricane, and then it's like, it is based off a real story.
Yeah, I might have seen
and it's
that,
basically,
actually.
Yeah, the whole movie is them like trying to get back, trying to, save themselves or whatever. And every time they think like, oh, they're going to make it. But then they don't. They all die.
Okay.
Which is sad.
I might have seen that.
Actually is like...
I have Volcano.
I was like, because they all died.
Oh, they all died.
Volcano was your number 1?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was like, I kind of don't... I like it, but I see it again because they all die.
That's sad. Yeah, I don't want to watch a movie where everyone dies. Someone's got to live to tell the story.
There we go.
See? Yeah. Ow.
Oh, Derek's back. What's your number 1, Derek?
Okay. Twister.
Twister.
Oh, okay, good. I thought you was afraid you didn't have that on your list. Okay.
Yeah, no. Yeah, Twister is number 1. Dude, that is like the best movie.
It's so entertaining. Like, I saw this in a movie theater, and it was, like, scary, but I, like, still loved it. Because, like you say, like, this could really happen, but I still found it fun.
Yeah. Yeah, movies where it can really happen is kind of scary. Just like Contagion. I'm like, see, I don't like this.
Yeah, it was so scary. Darren had nightmares off the previews.
Yeah, well, y'all keep saying this. I was like 6 years old.
No. It doesn't matter. You were a scary child. Just you got scared off of everything. It's just so ridiculous. It made no sense.
I had a very
remember the skunk?
Hey, I had a dream that there was a skunk about to spray me in the car, man. And then I woke up and my covers were balled up at the end of the bed, shaped like a skunk. So, what would you do? You want to get sprayed by a skunk?
No, scream.
Oh, like I had never, and I'm looking like, what are you talking about?
It was a skunk. It looked like a skunk at the end of my bed.
It did not. It really didn't.
It did.
He screamed that. Because all the other times Darren just be mumbling, dude.
Right.
It's like they can hear him. Waking us up.
Yeah. Ridiculous, man. You're so scary.
Anyhow, my top movie was Volcano.
No, wait, don't change the subject now.
Well, I mean, we already said it. Twister could really happen. So, well, I mean, technically,
True.
in a way. So
No,
I was afraid
true.
we were all
Like,
going to die in a tornado.
I don't. Yeah. Only thing I felt was real unrealistic about it was them being in the middle of it.
What, inside of the
You
tornado?
talking about the end?
Yeah.
If it's big enough.
I feel like the end was unrealistic. They like tied them, whatever. And I'm like, even if it didn't blow you away, I just feel like it got smacked in the face with like every debris ever.
Mm-hmm.
Especially since when they were at the movie theater, they were at a drive-in movie watching The Shining, which was like kind of scary.
Yeah.
And it's like stuff is, so they all go hide in the shelter or whatever, and stuff is like flying through the walls. That's how that one dude got hit. But then you
Yeah.
can go through a tornado and not get hit by anything.
Right. I
That doesn't
honestly
make any
think
sense.
that them being tied down to that, the sheer wind would have ripped them apart. I feel like.
Yeah, it was just a belt. I mean, I'll have to run some tests or something to just see how much force can your belt withstand.
I mean, if it's tearing up a house, I feel like what were they tied down on?
I don't know. It was a pole that was embedded in the ground.
It was water. It was like
It was like a
but they
water
were on a farm,
spout
so
or something.
he said it would be deep enough where it won't rip the piping out of the ground.
Okay, so I guess it was attached to a well or something, maybe.
Okay.
Something or so. Yeah. I'm just saying, like
Why
you
couldn't
said, they
they
would have
get
got
into
hit
some
with
shelter?
debris, or they would have got torn apart.
Yeah. What did you say there?
Why couldn't they get into some shelter? I'm a bit confused.
They were in the middle of nowhere on a farm. Like everything else was getting truck, didn't he? It was like there's like nowhere else to go.
The shelter, I believe, was locked. I think they went to the shelter first, and it was already locked. And
Well,
the tornado was coming down.
You
Was
could
already.
be stupid like they were in Man of Steel and hide under an overpass.
Don't never do this. Don't do that.
Right. All it is a huge vacuum, and you're going to get sucked up and smashed underneath the bridge.
Yeah, don't do that. Yeah,
Yeah.
because it was an F5. Because at the beginning of her movie, her dad had an F5, and that's what the last tornado was in the movie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Wow.
so I
What's
still
your
think they would have.
Was my
Mine's
Yeah.
The Perfect Storm was mine's.
Ah, good choice.
See, yeah.
Yep. Pretty good. So these were some disaster movies that we thought of over the last hour. So, what disaster movies do you like? Do you like, or is that your favorite type of movie or something? You know, let us know. We'll be interested to see what you think. You can always reach out to us on Facebook. We're at facebook.com/3drivals. Also, you can email us, 3drivals@gmail.com, or tweet at us. It's at 3_rivals on Twitter. Other than that, thank you for listening, guys. We appreciate it, and peace out.
Peace out.